I am following the first chapter in the book, and the first chapter in the book says that there is a data set called PIMA. So I will type PIMA and hit enter, and indeed my screen is flooded with lots of numbers. So there is indeed something called PIMA in that package. Okay, so when you are overwhelmed with so many things, what you can try to do is to look at the first few columns, or the first few rows rather. But before that, I like to look at the size. And size is given by dimension, DIM of PIMA, that is 768 by 9, which means 768 rows and 9 columns. You can take a look at whatever you want. So I will like to take a look at the names of the variable, names PIMA. Well, here I am typing things directly, but you should do possibly what I say. Type it here and then copy paste. So type it here and then copy paste. That's a better way, because later you might forget what are the commands that you have given. Now you know that these are the things that you have given. Here's another command which is called head. It shows you the first few rows of the data set. Now my screen is only half of the thing, so I can hardly see anything. So I can see that I have got some variables: pregnant, glucose, diastolic, triceps, insulin, BMI, diabetes, age, and test. Now naturally you want the story behind this. You can get that by looking up the help. I will type question mark PIMA, and indeed I get some help. It says diabetes survey on PIMA Indians. There is some description, and it has a description of all the variables that is each column. Pregnant is number of times pregnant, glucose is this, and you want to go down the screen, you just hit your space bar and you go on like this. Finally it gives you the source, so that if you want to take a more detailed look at it, you might try to look up this website. Now how do you get out of this page? You just hit Q. You just hit Q and you get back to your command prompt. If you are using RStudio, then this help will open in a different window, a different panel, so it will not obstruct your command prompt. Okay, so that is basically how you first look at a data set. You type head, you type dimension, you type names, you look up the help to see the description, and that's how you first get your fill. Then, since there are so many numbers, you surely cannot look at all the numbers simultaneously. There is a very useful command which is called summary. Summary of PIMA, and it will compute summary of all the different things. Again, my screen is half, so you cannot see it clearly, but now I will show you. For pregnant, it gives you all the things: minimum, the first quartile, median, mean, the third quartile, the maximum. So you have an idea about the range and how the things are spread and things like that. Now, as the book points out, you should look carefully at all these things, and you will possibly see certain things which are strange. For example, here is diastolic, which is diastolic blood pressure, but surprisingly its minimum is 0. You never hear of a person whose blood pressure happens to be 0. So you suspect that there is something bad going on there. And ideally, as the book suggests, if you have access to the main source of the data, you should query that main source, figuring out what this is. But in this case, the natural case is that for some of those cases, we did not have, or the persons who created the data set did not have the values for the diastolic blood pressure, and they indicated the missing value by using the number 0, which is a pretty bad choice, because 0 is being just a number. It looks like any other number. So you should use something which sort of stands out. So the way to fix that will be this. This is the command I have from the book, and this is a somewhat complicated command, so I would like to break it. You have all these variables, like I have a variable called pregnant, I have a variable called diastolic. Now if you want to look at the value of the diastolic, you might type typing diastolic, and it will say this is not found, because the PIMA thing is like a box. The data set is like a box, and this diastolic variable is inside the box. You want to talk about the diastolic variable that is inside that PIMA box. And for that, what you need to do is to do the following: PIMA $diastolic. And now you can see all the diastolic values. There is yet another way of doing it, which is like opening the box and turning it upside down so that all the variables come out, which is not the preferred way of doing it because it clutters your workspace with lots of variables, even variables that you possibly do not care about. But to save time, we can sometimes do that. So I will just show it here, not do it. Attach PIMA. So if you do that, attach PIMA, in that case, all those variables will now become visible. Attach PIMA. Well, I should have copied and pasted since I have already typed it here. And it says something that the following object is masked from package far away, which means that there was something called diabetes already. Now, on top of this, we have created a new variable called this diabetes. So now if I try diabetes, you will see the variable. If I try pregnant, you will see that variable. So all those things are now sort of top level variables. They are no more inside that box. I personally do not like to attach everything because it creates so many variables and very soon you get confused. You do not have any control on the names that you are using. So I will just get rid of that. I just showed that. You use detach PIMA. Detach PIMA. And now all those things will have vanished. If I now type pregnant, and it will again say I do not see anything called pregnant. So you put all the variables back in the box and locked it. But you can still see PIMA $pregnant, and that will work. Now typing all these things sometimes is a lot of work. You can type $preg, that will work. $PR, that will also work. So as long as it does not clash with any other name, it will happily accept it.